Welcome to Heal with Us, where we aim to inspire, strengthen, and empower.
Now let's begin to heal.
Hey, y'all, I'm Toya, and I'll be investigating the business of everyday people like you and I.
Blessings. It's Dr. Nikkisha Bell-Griffin. I'll be checking in on your heart.
Hello, I'm Tam from the Nerds Corner, and I'll be sharing interesting facts with you that you didn't know you needed. Because I'm just nerdy like that.
Now that you met us, let's get in your business.
In your business.
Alrighty, guys. On today's episode, I wanted to talk about New Year's resolutions and things like that, but not necessarily the way they have been done. Because I feel like you can still be the same you and see things in a different way. So I think the idea of changing yourself can be kind of like scary. So don't look at it like that. Just think about it as changing your views. So for me, I think in the past, I've done like New Year's resolutions where I'm going to be this and I'm going to be that now. I'm not going to be like that anymore. I'm going to do this. Like I have these long, dramatic lists. And I think out of all the years, maybe two of them, I like followed that thing like to a T until the end of the year, made it to the next year and was still following it. But the problem was, it was like now I don't feel like me, and now it just feels like something I have to do, and I it's not helping me. Like, okay, I accomplished this, but it wasn't anything that was helping me long term. It was more of a like, well, I'm here, but I want to be here type goal. What types of goals have you set that are not necessarily like healthy goals, I guess, but you thought it was a healthy goal? Not the slow blink.
I'm curious as to what yours was.
So, I mean,
Good reflection.
I know, like, yeah,
Yes,
like why
yes,
she do me like that? I don't like what you did there.
Right.
So it was more of a I want to be, and I was maybe early 20s. I wanted to be like the TV people. Okay, I don't know how else to describe it,
Okay.
but like how you step out the door and you look like your whole makeup crew, the artist, your wardrobe, like all that stuff. And if one little thing was out of place, yeah, I'm not going anywhere.
Mm.
So I think that was my one for 1 year where it was like I literally was like, I want to look perfect. I want to look like I have the perfect life. I mean, it was all about like what I looked like to other people, when really that was not what was going on, in real life.
Well, what
So
motivated you to even,
want to like,
yeah, to aspire to?
I think it was more of a I want my life to be different, but I was going about it in the wrong way.
Gotcha.
Like I wanted to be better, but that wasn't like looking better didn't necessarily mean better. So
Okay,
yeah,
that makes sense.
yeah.
I think for me, I'm trying
I heard exposing me.
well, I mean,
I'll
hey,
get in your
when
business.
hey, you dig, I'm gonna dig too. I'm trying to think. I mean, I can say even like in the recent past, and I think I might have shared that with y'all before. I mean, I'll just think of something kind of basic, but still important, like eating. And like for me, it was like, oh, I'm never gonna eat sugar again.
Yeah.
Like,
Been on that.
okay, that would probably be really good for my body, really. But realistically, like it's like you're depriving yourself. You're doing extreme, and that's something I hate about trying to set certain goals or go about setting certain goals. In a way where you're just like on one end or the other. Like that never works. So it's finding your medium. And so for me, that's what my goal has evolved into. What is my happy middle for me? My happy middle might not be your happy middle, but what is something that's gonna not make me feel like so pressured or disappointed because oh my God, I ate sugar again today, but still be healthy. Because I mean, at the end of the day, you don't want to go to the left so much that you're just acting oblivious, like, oh, I can eat sugar anytime I want to. Well, then you're going to be diabetic. So it's like, for me, just if I can stay in that happy middle place, and then if I feel like I want to push myself more in a way where I'm ready and I'm okay, and it's not like overwhelming myself, then I'm good. I'll do that. But that is the tricky part, that sweet spot where, it's like, all right, this is where I am. This feels good. I feel good, and I feel like I'm actually, and I think this is the thing I'm learning too, small steps, the small wins. Like, okay, if my small win is just eating one piece of candy a day or whatever it is, brownie or whatever, I'm a chocolate person. So, then hey, that went from one a day to, from 5 to 1.
My eyes are
Oh,
running.
okay. I'll make you sad. I'm not talking about not eating sugar
is
anymore. I'm so
pretty
sorry. It is very scary. Yes, and I'm
crying for you.
sometimes too. I know.
She feels your pain.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Because it is hard, yes. But so I think, because I did like a 40-day sugar fast, and I mean, when I got off, I felt amazing. I hated the taste of sugar, but I gradually started reintroducing myself to it, and of course, I jumped right back into that bad habit. I think if I would have found my sweet spot, then I would, have kind of had more moderation. So I'm getting there. Yeah. But yeah,
That's half the battle.
that's my example.
Well, for me,
Oh, okay.
I never really made New Year's resolutions
Sorry, was
because
that
my
Papa?
A has DD. I'm sorry,
What
Doc.
character was that? Who does that? A cartoon character does that for real. Who does that?
That was Ace Ventura.
Oh, that's who it was. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So I never really made New Year's resolution because my A has DD, and I get bored. I'll start something, get bored, and go to the next. Like, I'm all over the place. I've always been a dreamer. Now, I will say, before it ever became a thing, vision boards, I was doing that already, but I would just write stuff down, like what I dreamt, if it was a big yellow car, or even if it didn't make any sense to me, I just wrote it down. And I kept those in kind of like books, and I still kind of have some of those notebooks, and I go back and look at it. Some of it's funny, but actually some of the things that I wrote down, I've either achieved or it's in the realm of what it was that I've gotten or have experienced. So I've never really been a kind of New Year's resolution person. So yeah.
She been falling trap.
And I think so. My same you, new view is I'm still the same when it comes to, like, it's not necessarily that I want to physically look a certain way, but it's how I want people to feel. I think that was more important. Like, I wanna come in, like, put together, but it was really about the perception of somebody else. So I know it's weird. So if you look a hot mess and you enter a room, people will notice that. If you come in a room and you look, put together, people also notice that. It wasn't necessarily that I wanted the attention of that, but the feeling that somebody else got. Like, I don't want to be the person that makes them upset. So I think so my same me is that I still want to enter the room, but be the light. And so that my new view is that, if I've met you, I want you to leave happier than before you met me, or at least feel like you've been heard before I leave. Yeah.
I like that.
That's interesting.
What about you? Your same you that you notice?
I mean, how do I compare to that? I think for me, and I always, of course, want people to feel, like they can be themselves. But I think, however, I have spent a lot of time being self-conscious and being more concerned about what others think about me than what I think about me. And I'm realizing at this stage in my life, especially having daughters that are becoming women, that I don't want to care anymore about other people's, thoughts and perceptions. What's most important is my relationship with myself, because I want my daughters to see that they can stand up tall and be them no matter what anybody else thinks. It's about what they think, what they see. So I think the same is that like you said, I want everybody to just feel like we're adding to each other.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? We
Yeah.
are adding to each other.
Yeah.
That's my, I guess, same me, I guess. We're adding
Mhm.
to each other. I don't have to be overly conscious of what I'm doing or not doing or what I look like or don't
Mhm.
look like because I'm thinking you have a problem with it. You
Mhm.
know,
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to be me and you can be you and we can be different and be okay with that. You know, we cannot like what each other is
Yeah.
doing or wearing or saying or whatever it might be or believe, but still have some kind of common ground of love and respect where we can grow as people. And, you know, so yeah, that's where I am.
And it's weird because the same you that I see for you, the you. Um,
Okay.
I can think back to when you used to write plays and we used to act out the plays and the kids in the neighborhood would come watch. But if somebody wanted to be in it and there was not a part, you would write a part in for them. Like, oh no, it's fine.
Oh,
I can
yes.
write you in right
Yes.
here. And I mean, it would be like a nice part. It wouldn't just be like an afterthought. You would rework the whole play and add them in. So yeah, I think you've always wanted to add to,
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
Thank
people.
you for that.
Yeah.
I didn't see
Mhm.
that
Yeah.
actual level like that.
You had to pay to get in the play, but
Oh yeah,
you
you
know.
got to pay. You got to pay. Give me that quarter, okay?
Yes.
Give me the quarter. Tamara, you bringing
And
your
Tam,
allergies
I
on here,
know.
I'm
okay?
sorry.
Girl, I'm
I'm
coughing
sorry.
and
I'm
stuff.
sorry.
What's your same you, Tam?
My same me? Oh, geez. I don't know. Um, I don't know. Maybe branching out. Because I'm such a loner. Kind of sharing myself. Well, that don't sound right. Let me reword that.
Okay.
Branching because I'm not really a social person. I'm not a people person, and I do notice that when I am around people, I do kind of lighten the mood. And if I see that, someone's in a little funk or whatever, I'll do something to kind of maybe change the trajectory of the way that they're acting or their mood or whatever. But I would say that because I, starting this year or before, would have never branched out on my own to do something or with someone else because and I'm working on it. I have trust issues. I don't trust a lot of people. And that's due to, hurt and stuff that I've been through in the past. So, and not to say that I don't trust you ladies because, I mean, we've known each other since we were wee tykes, But I think that would be the new me is just continuing to put myself out there and see what happens. Maybe I'll be discovered and then I'll be making this speech on the Oscar stage and thanking you too.
Yeah, and we'll be there too, clapping.
Such a talking, such a talking.
It's so funny to me that you feel like you're not a people person because people freaking love you.
I know, and they say that if it happens to come up, but
yeah,
I'm just not. I'm awkward. I'm socially awkward. I feel so
And you're
out of
inside?
place.
It's got to be on your
outside, it
inside.
does
Yeah.
not come out.
I'm socially awkward. I do that because I'm nervous or uncomfortable, and I get to cutting a monkey and acting a fool.
But at least, I don't know. I'll just say, I think I would rather handle social awkwardness because for me, it's social anxiety. But which my family will look at me like, "What are you talking about?" Like, they're like, "No, you're not." I'm like, I know myself. Excuse me. But like for me, it's like literally like, okay. But like for you, like you found a creative way to me to handle it. Like I wish I could kind of just start joking and I mean I can be silly, but it just flow. It's just like your natural go-to, as long as you're not suppressing. The things that you should not be suppressing. I think it's good. I got to put that in there.
Wait.
I got to put
She's
that in there.
giggling down there.
Yes, yeah, because she knows. But I think that's a blessing. And then because in turn, you end up making connections. Like you end up making friends. So it's like it starts off awkward, but then you kind of break the ice.
Yeah.
And you accomplish the goal of making connections. So I think you're already doing it. But what you're saying is you want to do it without feeling that.
Yes, that I
awkwardness.
have to when that awkwardness falls on me,
Mhm.
I have to revert to my coping mechanism,
Yeah.
which is, you know, making someone laugh or just
Right.
being, you know,
Right.
because it's not a self-esteem issue for me because I love me some me.
Mhm.
I love me
Right.
some me.
Right.
And I've even been told a couple of times, oh, you so conceited. Well, if I am,
I am.
I can teach you.
I know that's right.
But my aunt, she really poured into me, like you
Right.
spoke
Yeah.
before. Growing up, I would look, no, go back in the house and brush your hair. Don't go outside. My grandmother always said, you don't ever leave the house looking any kind of way because you don't know who you're gonna run into.
Mhm.
And so, just having those words
Mhm.
or affirmations
Mhm.
being constantly on rerun and repeat.
Right.
Honey, I gotta have a little razzle dazzle. I can't forget my earrings. My hair gotta be, now it ain't always on point, but it's in place.
Right. Yeah. Yes, I can understand. We do understand.
The outfit might not be on point, but it's in place. You'd be surprised what a little ironing can do.
Right, yes.
But that for me,
Yeah.
a giggle box down there, like
She is.
cannot with her. But I think that for me, it's just putting myself out there and trying to make more connections because I know that where I am right now, as far as what makes me be able to take care of myself financially, I know that's not what I should be doing.
Mhm.
So I have kind of come to the conclusion, I've prayed about it. Maybe if is that what's hindering me from seeing a lot of my dreams come true, is me being, that socially awkward, cowering in the corner type of person when my personality is not that.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but I mean, and also it's me just trying to figure out people. God has given me a gift of discernment. Okay. So within 5 minutes of me meeting you, I can pretty much tell
Yeah.
what you all about.
So it's almost like a blessing and a curse at the
Yes.
same time. Like,
And so just me, if you first meet me, I'm very quiet because I'm
reading the room.
I'm studying you. When I finish my hypothesis and it ain't good, you're going to see me kind of cower away, and I got choice words for you. It's not that it's a bad thing or, you're a bad person. It's just the fact that not with my energy. It'll be kind of bumping each other. That's the only thing. But once I get to know you, I'm a blast, and, I get the giggle box and the kikis.
And I think that's important what you said too, because I literally had this conversation with myself and Jesus about how just sometimes you're not where you need to be because, or where he wants you to be because of your perception. You just needing to change and get that new view because you're living in a old version of yourself that really wasn't yourself anyway. And so it's like hindering you from stepping into a lot of things that would just allow you to flourish.
And I told you guys I have been in survival mode for years. So I never let myself dream. I had dreams when I was little, and when I had to enter survival mode, all those dreams were packed down. Like, girl, get that bag, get that stuff in there. We ain't got time for that. We got come on, light bill, rent, mortgage. Like, no. And so now that I'm in a space in my life where I'm not in survival anymore, I feel like, that is a hindrance for me, is that me not letting my true self be me. And I've always been one of not caring what people thought about me, but it was more of what you stated in your, when you first answered the question, was how I am and what I do and how I act, how does it make people feel? That's what was a worry for me. I don't want anybody to be uncomfortable. And we had that talk before, like, I don't want my rambunctiousness because maybe I should get a shirt. My A has DD, and then people understand why I am the way I am or how my thought process is. That they would kind of understand. But who cares if they don't understand? It ain't meant for them to understand.
Exactly.
So
yeah. And I think that's something we have to learn. I mean, it's sad that, as adults, you're still trying to maneuver through this, but just how to understand. And you brought up the test in our last episode. I've taken a lot of the personality test and Enneagram and all of those things. And understanding other people's personality is very important. And like so for someone who's very quiet and just, conservative. I don't know if I like that word, but I'm going to use it today. Like you being rambunctious is not going to bother me if I'm okay with myself. You know what I mean? It's just, I don't want me just not being rambunctious with you to come off as me not receiving that part of you. You know what I mean? So I think we just have to learn how to respect and honor each other's spaces and let people be them without feeling like you have to shift who you are, and vice versa.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Let's get to it.
Okay, what is this now about?
Are you our Napoleon Dynamite?
Yes.
What?
It's a freaking food, Tina.
What?
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
I just saw it. That's all.
You saw it. Why? Explain yourselves.
But she's talking about the social awkward and blah blah blah. Yeah, so Napoleon.
Blah blah blah. Okay.
Yes. So now I can't unsee it.
Sorry.
I'm sorry. She sees it now. She understands you.
That's all I have for my segment. Thank you guys for letting me get in your business.
In your business.
All right. Hey, y'all. So I will continue on with our conversation. But I want to talk about, so you're kind of tying in the same you, new view with New Year's coming up. And I want to kind of talk about habits because really what I'm learning, I just finished reading an amazing book. I don't know if y'all read it or heard of it before, Atomic Habits by James Clear, I believe his last name is. Sorry if I said it wrong, but and it is just clarifying why I myself have not been successful with fulfilling some of my goals. Because basically, what he's saying, like New Year, we're really we have good intentions. Okay, so if you do resolutions, that's on you. More power to you. But the main thing is we are trying to reset our life, and we're trying to accomplish things, whether internally or externally, that we failed at before, or we just recognize we need to kind of work on. So he's pretty much talking about the difference between having a goal and a system. So my problem was I would have all these lovely goals, but no system to reinforce the goal. Now, when it came to like school, get my doctorate, all of that, I had great systems. I'm going to study at this time every night and don't interrupt me, okay? So it worked. I was able to accomplish my goal, but there's like, it can be something that's small as I'm trying to think of something like, okay, we want the children to start being more independent and cleaning and doing their chores, Okay, that's your goal. What's your system for that? Every day they come home from school, immediately eat your snack and now do your chores. You know what I mean? So the gap between us basically being successful with achieving our goals is that we did not have something that was helping us to the steps. We didn't have any steps in place. It was just like, oh, I'm going to lose weight. Or we were too vague about it. Like, I'm going to lose weight. Yeah. Okay, well, how much? And how long? And is it realistic? Yeah. Because you can't say I'm going to lose 50 pounds in 1 month because really that means you're doing something that you should not be doing, okay?
Or that's unhealthy.
Or that's unhealthy, exactly. So it's like just having realistic expectations and measurements in place and a system that works for you. So, I mean, get the book if you have not, because it's really, really been eye-opening for me. And just also, like, when you're getting into that space of the resolutions and all those things, thinking about your why. Like, always going back to your why. Like, why do I want to do this? What's the benefit? And like you were saying before, like, you had these goals, but then it was like, well, really wasn't for the right reason, So asking yourself why, does it align with your core values? Is it going to benefit? Who is it benefiting? That type of thing. So I think once you have that at the forefront and then you jump into it, you're more likely to be successful. And of course, as we always say, doing things in community whenever possible. me and my husband started working out together. And because we're doing it together, we're actually like holding each other accountable.
Look at y'all.
I know, I'm so proud of us and sticking to it. So it's like, even when days he's like, oh, I don't feel like it, I'm like, nope, let's go. And, and vice versa. So I think it really, and then having the right person, because if you're trying to link up with somebody and both of y'all just lazy or whatever, it's not going to work. You really need to find somebody that is really focused and committed.
And it doesn't have to be your wife.
It doesn't have to be your wife. It doesn't have to be your spouse. Exactly. It can be whoever. So, but yeah. So I guess
somebody's a morning person and somebody's
yes,
not.
Exactly.
That's what we're discussing here.
And I'm glad you said that too, because one thing that frustrates me about me, okay, is like trying to have a goal and just like I said, almost with the weight thing, like you're not losing 50 pounds in 1 month. Well, for me, morning. Like I know you're worse than me with the morning thing, but
yeah, what are mornings?
I don't
that? Not even real.
But I'm not the greatest morning person either. So like me, it's like, oh, I'll get up an hour earlier than I normally do. That's unrealistic for somebody who does not like getting up in the morning. So he, in the book Atomic Habits, he's kind of suggesting, like, I think he called it a 2-minute rule or something, where you are only allowed to do something for 2 minutes until it just becomes a habit, and then you can increase it. So my thing might be getting up 2 minutes earlier, or even if I don't actually get out the bed, just sitting up, like making myself sit up, and just continue to do that until I've built in the habit of, okay, I can do this, and then, so I think sometimes we start so big that we just make it, like impossible to
overwhelming.
Attain. Yes, overwhelming, and we don't enjoy it. Like, it's like, the whole point is because you want to be better and feel better, so the process doesn't have to be painstaking all the time. And when you were saying, like, sometimes you get to a place where it's like, what's the point? Well, like for exercise, and it might get to a point where it's boring to us. Like, oh my God, I don't feel like going to the gym again. But that's like the part where you really have to push through. Like, okay, this has become such a habit that now it's like I'm bored with it, but you still got to keep going. Yeah. So maybe he suggested adding in something that you like or something you don't like. Yeah. So adding in music to your workout, or maybe if you're working out at home, playing Netflix while you're on the treadmill, whatever, you know what I mean? Yeah. So just trying to combine something pleasurable with something that's really challenging to do. So yeah, I mean, that's my take. And do y'all have anything that you aspire to develop within yourself, or or your family, or anything? Like, what are you kind of wanting to focus on?
I think for me, I think I'm thoughtful, but it doesn't really come off that way.
All right, I think I'm thoughtful.
That's what I was thinking. But yeah, so I think that's something that I would need to work on, because when you can't pinpoint why somebody feels like that, I think that's something that I would need to like reflect on and work on. Yeah. Because I feel like I'm doing the things that are, thoughtful, but it's looking like, well, because it's going to benefit you. So, yeah.
That's good.
So,
that's really good. What about you?
I think what you were saying about the book, I already do that. Like, because I joke around, I do have ADD. That's not a joke. So I have to work in lists, and I have to, because I know me. It doesn't matter how minute, and you said that he said be realistic. Right. I could be as realistic as I want to be. I know me.
Right. Yeah.
So I always have to have a system.
Yeah.
I always have to have a system. And my son has ADHD, so he had to have a system. For example, like, I would leave his little steps to do stuff on paper around his room. So like, he would get so distracted when he'd go in to brush his teeth, wash his face. I would put the list on the mirror and just do.
He does that.
Yeah. So that was the only way that he would. And then, like, when it came time to make up his bed, I have a list right there on the wall. Even if he didn't read it, he would look up, oh, Lord, I got to,
Right.
So I've always done, just list in a system. Now, there are apps, and I think it's a widget on Apple that allows you to do things in time bursts.
Mm.
So you can set it and it'll give you can set it to however many minutes. So like 2 minutes to check emails.
Oh.
And then a little alarm or a little fancy alert will let you know, okay, you're 2 minutes up.
Okay.
Or you could put 5 minutes focus time.
Okay.
It'll give you that 5 minutes, ding, 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 that's up. Then, so you can set that up to the way that you need it.
What's
And then
that
I
on?
would prop my phone. I'm sorry.
What is that on?
It's I think it may be in the App Store.
Okay.
I do know that it's a widget on the iPhone, but it may be just an actual app. And I would set my phone up like lengthwise so that it actually will come up on the screen like your clock. And you just put you hit the button that says go, and then it'll set that time for whatever you set it for.
I like that.
So like if you're doing your devotions in the morning,
Yeah.
you set it for 30 minutes.
Right. I like
And
that.
it,
Okay.
you know,
'Cause
now,
it keeps your brain like on track
yeah.
instead of. Wait, I
But for
can do this and
me,
this and this.
sometimes I got to turn it over because I'll sit there and look at the numbers.
Oh.
Oh,
Do I
yeah.
want to change the color?
Oh.
Yeah.
I got it on orange, but I think I
Yeah.
want green. Oh Lord, it's been 8 minutes. Let me focus.
Yeah.
So
Uh-huh.
that I just have to say that
Okay.
I've always kind of
that's
operated
good.
in systems because that's the only thing that works for me.
Yeah. Well, that's good.
So
That's good.
yeah.
And clearly you've seen results because otherwise
Yeah.
you wouldn't have done it. I
Yeah.
get it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank y'all. I think that's pretty much all that I, have, for y'all. But like I said, just with your, New Year's resetting and just thinking about being you, and I mean, just make it more about, things that are gonna make you a better you. Don't focus so much on, outside things,
Or
because
making-
at the end of the day,
Making
that's
yourself better for
Right.
other people.
Yeah.
right,
Mhm.
exactly, because we can be good with us, then all the other stuff will come.
All
So,
in line.
yeah, yep. Well, that's all I have. So I'm bring it on over to you. Remember to guard your heart with all diligence, for out of it flows the issues of life.
Hello. Welcome to the Nerd's Corner. Come on over. Get nice and cuddly and snug as a bug in a rug. So, what I want to share with you guys today is steam inhalation therapy. So, have either of you heard of that before? Or no?
I've
You
never
look-
heard of it, but I feel like when my shower is scorching my skin, that I'm getting some steam.
Exactly. You're exactly
I
right.
get
Whenever
it.
you get out of the shower and your mirror's fogged up, it's because of the steam. Whether you know it or not, the steam is helping to open up things, your pores, your nasal passages, all the good things. And actually, singers use steam therapy usually before they perform or they know that they're going to be performing for a while, or even if they're performing in the cold outside. They use steam inhalation therapy to warm their throat because the coldness will freeze up your vocal cords. So as a singer or performer, it's good to make sure that you keep your vocal cords warmed. What's involved with it? It's just water vapor. Nothing else added to it, just plain old simple water. It starts to work by loosening mucus in the nasal passages, your throat, and your lungs. It helps to relieve symptoms of inflamed, swollen blood vessels in the nasal passage. So when your nose is stopped up, as some people say, that's because the blood vessels in your nose, you have inflammation. So, back in the day when we were little, I don't know if your parents used that stinky vapor rub stuff. Well, it has camphor in it, which I spoke about on an older episode, and that helps to dilate the blood vessels so that it'll open up your passages. And that's kind of what the moisture from the steam and the heat from the steam does to the nasal passages as well. It's more of a healthier alternative way than using. I mean, there's nothing wrong with camphor, but I just was a little hesitant to use it on kids because, they put their fingers in it, they got their fingers in their mouth or in their eye, and then, yeah, you got a situation. Yes. It also helps to thin out the mucus in your sinuses, which allows you to empty them easier, meaning blow your nose or just clear it out. It kind of loosens it up. Just like with my steam when I was cleaning the refrigerator.
Yeah.
Yeah, it helps to loosen the dirt so you don't have to put so much elbow grease in. Yeah. Yeah, but you don't use elbow grease to blow your nose. Okay. Anyway, It does not clear the infection. So if you have like a cold or inflammation, a sinus infection, or even the flu or something like that, it's not going to cure the infection that you have. It's just going to help relieve some of the inflammation and whatever you got, mucus buildup that you got going on. So that's something just to kind of keep in mind. It also provides some relief from nasal allergies, which is why I use it. I have a little example here. Unfortunately, we're having technical difficulties and I couldn't get it on to work to demonstrate. Oh, the light's on. The light's on, people. The light is on. We have hot donuts.
Donuts now.
So it comes with two different types of kind of attachments.
Ooh, it's soft.
Yeah, you
I
thought,
thought
it was hard.
Oh,
It's soft.
Ooh.
So this one is more where, you can put majority of your whole muzzle.
Yes.
This is bringing me back to my asthma attack days.
Oh, okay. But this is
The whole-
different than nebulizer because
Yeah.
you probably had like a nebulizing type of
Yeah.
thing. This is just a mist, that's kind of
Yeah,
mist, but this is more of a vapor
Okay.
type of thing. But this is more of a, to give you more of a fuller coverage. And then this one is just mostly the mouth area. So like if your throat, like I said, if you're a performer, I would use this piece because it focused the moisture in the heat to warm up your vocal cords, to keep them
I
warm.
like the dramatic mask.
You like the dramatic mask?
Yes.
So that will go over your nose to help with the inflammation and the congestion with your nose.
I like it.
Okay, so whoa, I almost fell there.
Please don't.
So we'll give it a few minutes. Is the light still on?
I think it is.
Okay, we'll give it a few minutes for it to get to warm up. So it may also provide some relief from headaches. So if you're having a headache, if you don't want to pop a pain pill like a Tylenol or Motrin or something, you can use steam or water vapor therapy and just inhale the
Oh, okay.
throat irritation, breathing problems such as airway congestion, asthma. If you're having a flare up, now if you're having an asthma attack, this is not going to help that situation. You need more of a rescue type of situation. Dry, irritated nasal passages. So in the wintertime, everybody has their heat on and but for me, unfortunately, and for my husband, I keep that thermostat on 65 because I can't, it just drives me out. It just, my nose gets to bleeding. Like, it's just a whole situation. Even with, I also have a humidifier, and I'm going to get into the difference between the two because this is not a humidifier. What else? And it also helps with coughing. So if you got a little tickle down there, your throat's irritated.
Why you pull that out a few minutes ago?
Well, I did, but the light wasn't on. Yeah. So I purchased this particular machine off of Amazon, and I have another one as well. It's a little more, it's taller than this one, and the attachment for you to insert whatever area that you're having an issue in is more like this one, but it's longer. It's not as wide as this one. And that one's actually made by Vicks. So you can get that one at I think I got it from CVS. And they're fairly affordable. They're not expensive at all. The only thing that you require to use this is water. I would suggest you use distilled water and not the water from your faucet because it's treated with all bunch of stuff. And then that water from your faucet will kind of calcify and cause all the gook and stuff to.
Unless you have a filter.
Yes. So use distilled water and you won't have to worry about it clogging up your motor or it's a little stem in there that sucks the water up through there to get it to the motor back here to blow out the steam. So steam would and should be coming out of this end. And it has a little function where you can extend the neck of it if need be. But if you don't have any of those or these items that I talked about, there's a more simple way that you can do it. You can get a big bowl of water, boil some water on the stove or put it in the microwave. Just please be cautious. You don't want to burn yourself. Get the warm water, the hot water, and it has to be hot to the point that it's steaming. Pour it in the bowl, and then you want to drape a towel over your head and put your head over that bowl where the steam is coming from. And you want to kind of shut your eyes and take in a couple of deep breaths and really take in the steam and do it for about 8 to 12 minutes. But don't come in direct contact with the water because, like I said, it could burn you depending on how hot you made the water. And try not to do it no longer than 10 or 15 minutes. I mean, because you don't want to, especially if you're, you have a child or something. You don't want them to, because it's going to loosen up all that stuff. And then you don't want maybe mucus to start coming out and drop into the water and, or, you just don't want that. So that would be one of the ways that you could do it if you don't want to purchase one of these machines. Another way is just going in your bathroom, turning your shower on to the highest setting you can, and close the door, and just sit in there and just breathe the steam in. Just let it get real steamy. Take a towel and even block off the bottom opening of the door so that none of the steam can go away. And just sit in there and just kind of just take a couple of deep breaths. It's very beneficial.
I was in there. I was in there breathing in the steam. Hold on, I'm back now.
Oh, you left us for a second.
Yeah, I did.
Okay, come back.
So one may ask, well, what's the difference between this particular machine, the vapor inhalation therapy machine, and a humidifier? Well, you got two types of humidifiers. You have a cool mist humidifier and you have a warm mist humidifier. So with the cool mist, that's more for the benefit. It's for like those with asthma and breathing issues. It emits cool vapors to add moisture to the air. It utilizes a filter where this one doesn't, because it's just evaporating the water, and the heat from the motor in the back is just warming up the evaporated water. But with a humidifier, it has a filter. That it captured the water impurities. So with a humidifier, I would still use distilled water, but with a humidifier, you could probably use tap water because it has that filter in there. Let's see what else. It's ideal for use during warmer weather, not cooler weather. This is the cool mist humidifier, and in areas that experience warm climates year round. It's slightly noisy, where this one, you don't hear no noise at all. If it was working, you would just see the steam just coming out. And well, when the water level gets a little low, you'll hear it kind of sounding like it's bubbling. But other than that, it's not noisy. Because when you have a sick child, you do any and everything. You tiptoeing around and make sure they're not waking up when they're sick. You just want them to sleep, Disadvantages of a cool mist humidifier: bacterial contamination. So you really have to make sure that after each use, I would say each use, clean out the water chamber, the thing that holds the water, dry it out completely, let it air dry, take the filter out. Make sure you are changing the filter on a regular, because it accumulates, because it's taking out the impurities, right? So it accumulates dust and mold. So you have to be very careful when you're using any type of humidifier because of the filtration that's on it. You want to make sure you stay on top of that. Now, with the warm mist, it adds moisture to the air, which increases the level of humidity in the air. Now, me being a curly girl, I think I had to deal with that stuffed up nose, because that humidity in the air, my hair be this wide. So that's not something I want to do. But it helps to alleviate common cold symptoms when the weather is cold outside. If someone's a mouth breather while they sleep, a warm mist humidifier would be great for them. They're less likely to wake up with a dry feeling in their mouth, from the humidifier adding that humidity to the air, and it minimizes snoring. So if you have a snorer, ladies and gentlemen, try a warm mist humidifier, and it will help alleviate, because there are a lot of things that cause people to snore, but majority of the time it's just the lack of moisture. So try that.
Do they sell disposable humidifiers?
Well, no, but I do have a travel humidifier, which it does not require a filter. All you do is a plain old bottle of water. You screw it on the top, and I should have bought that one and I didn't. But you screw it on the top. It's a little place where you screw it on the top, and it uses the water from the bottled water and use it as a humidifier.
Yeah.
So
I'm scared of all that other
stuff. So yeah, so I have one of those. I work from home, and so if I don't have time to do this, I'll just pull out that. It is a cool mist one though. So I just get a bottle of water, screw it on top of there, turn it on, and once the water is gone, I just recycle the bottle. That's it. So try one of those. I got it off of Amazon for like $20.
Okay.
And I used to use it when I did work in the office and I had to go in and it was just so hot and they had the heat on. I would put that on and close my little office door and people come in, oh, what you got over there? That's my humidifier because it's hot in here.
Yeah.
What else? If you are a plant mommy, it helps plants. So, you know, if you
Or a plant daddy.
yeah, or a plant daddy. Yeah, so you can set up a humidifier by your plants or in the room where your plants are. And it helps, think about the greenhouse effect, you know. It helps to get moisture in the air for them as well. It also prevents the spread of airborne diseases, or not diseases, but viruses. Examples, flu, COVID, strep, measles, and RSV. Moisture can prevent the movement of germs because they drop to the nearest surface when they're combined with moisture. And it makes it difficult for the germs to spread in the air. So that's what the humidifier does with the germs.
Oh, wow.
And it helps with arthritis. So if you have issues with arthritis or inflammation or joint pain, get you a warm mist humidifier and it should help soothe that for you. So,
What does it do for your skin?
oh, I have one of those too. I have a steamer for the face.
Oh.
And it's very good. It opens the pores to get,
Okay.
you know, like if you have a mask, it's
Right.
good to have that on when you're doing like your skincare
Okay.
because it opens pores and help you get all that goodness in there.
Okay.
And it will help, like if you feel like, I don't know about y'all, but I still get pimples like I'm 12.
Yeah.
And I mean, them deep ones that hurt. I would get in front of my facial steamer, let it really open up everything, and that thing just slides right out.
Oh, wow.
Even if it's one deep down, you know, those one that really hurt and it doesn't have a head.
Yeah.
And I tell everybody, please don't squeeze
Right.
because you leave
Marks.
marks and cause hyperpigmentation. Kind of just let it do what it do. They have the zit stickers now, which are
My
great.
daughters love those. What is that on your face?
But yeah, a facial steamer, very beneficial. And they say that you should sleep with one beside your bed. It keeps your skin tight and helps with the production of collagen.
Because mine, I just wake up dry sometimes.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's so many good benefits from just having a humidifier. Even if you don't have allergies, it helps with your skin.
Okay.
It helps with, you know, if you have any snoring issues or dry mouth, you wake up with a dry mouth. Or, you know, coughing in the morning because your throat is dry.
Right. Okay.
So it just pushes that moisture in the air for you.
That's great.
Yeah, so that's a little bit about my dysfunctioning vapor inhalation therapy, but it's great. I've used it for years, and not only for the beauty aspect of it, but just because I have allergies. So yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, and it's good. It's
that.
safe for children, even pets.
Okay.
You know, I had a dog once that had allergies.
Okay.
So
Oh,
yeah.
poor doggy.
You know, so if your doggy has allergies or even dry skin, like if you have a short hair dog, put a humidifier by wherever they sleep and it'll benefit your pets as well.
Okay.
Yeah.
Love it.
So that's a little bit about inhalation therapy. So I hope it was informative.
It was. Thank you.
Well, that's all I have.
Thank you for joining us for another episode of Heal With Us.
And remember, healing is a process, so take it one day at a time.
And remember, you can always find us across all of the social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. What else did I miss, guys? Instagram. That's Instagram. Apple Podcasts. We're just everywhere. If you want to email us with questions or show topics or anything, you can email us at healwithus3@gmail.com.
Heal
with us.